Emerson for Praise 88.7. I'm here tonight and very excited to be back tonight with Colton Dixon. Man, it's so good to have you in the house.
Man, good to be back under some better conditions.
Much better conditions. Last time I sent him running for cover because we had a horrendous storm. Not tonight, though.
No, that's right. That's right. In fact, last year I wound up being here on this very stage, playing to all the hands who helped set up this amazing festival here in Alabama. Got rained out, unfortunately, but played the piano for them in this very room.
And actually, right after the fireworks, I took my kids home, and I missed that, and I hated it because
bummer.
I told that story, and they're like, "That's a pretty neat thing for you to do that, man," because they worked hard and they were sweating, and it was so.
Everybody
hot.
Felt bad.
Yeah,
everybody felt bad.
But you played 3 or 4 songs on our piano here in the sanctuary at Marshall Street Church of God, and it worked out really good.
Yeah, that's right.
Listen, you've had an incredible year.
It's been a wild year.
It's been nuts, hasn't it? It's just gone nuts.
Yeah, sometimes God says go, and you hang on for dear life, and He's just blown our minds this year. We're really, really grateful, but it's been a fun year.
I saw you open the show on the K-Level Awards.
Oh, yeah.
And that was awesome.
Thank you.
I'm thinking, you getting an opening shot, that was great.
Man, yeah, I don't know who made that decision, but thank you to whoever did. We were honored.
You didn't hesitate, did you?
No. We said we were going to do it regardless, and found out we were opening, close to showtime. It's like, wow, it's amazing.
Okay, put me up there.
Let's do it.
Give me the mic.
Yeah.
Build a Boat. Now, that song was recorded. Was it on another album? Did you re-release that, or is that the first time it was released?
First time it was released. However, the song existed before we got our hands on it. Some guys in Sweden got together and wrote this song called Build a Boat.
Okay.
And we heard it, loved the melody, loved the title, loved the music, but we thought the lyric, we might want to change the lyric. The way they had told the story was it was a relationship song. It's like, hey baby, let's build a boat and get away. Let's get away from the world. And it was an amazing song. But I saw an opportunity to tell a greater story. And so we opened up the Bible and we started reading the Noah story, and God just met us there. The guy I wrote it with was Seth Mosley, another Nashville guy who's written a lot of Christian music. Yeah, it's not a way I typically write songs. Is hearing outside songs and going, I want to put my spin on that. So that was kind of new for me.
Yeah. But it worked.
Man,
it works great.
It did. What's funny is we did that with Build a Boat, and they allowed us to put our fingerprints on that, and we're so grateful. And then they said, hey, we noticed that Build a Boat did pretty well. We've got another song that
just had to have a few more
that we wrote that thought you might want to try, and that's our current single. It's called My Light. Yeah, they started that one as well.
We're playing that heavy.
Oh man, thank you.
Hey, both of these heavy rotation right now. In fact, after you were here last year, most of your stuff we had it in pretty heavy rotation. We've left it there because it's so good, and we get great compliments.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, it's some good music, right? Do you write most of your stuff?
I do. Yeah, it's pretty rare that I don't, get to put my DNA on a song. Only a couple in my career that I haven't written, but they were songs that I just knew that I needed to be a part of. So.
Are you based out of Nashville now?
I am. Yeah, grew up in a town called Murfreesboro, not too far from here.
Oh well, yeah.
Yeah. But my wife and I are in Nashville now.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very nice. Tell us a little bit about Colton Dixon, about maybe your early years, about growing up, and your salvation experience. Were you saved early as a child, or did you come to know the Lord later on in your life?
I grew up in church and gave my life to the Lord when I was 7, so I was young, and that was kind of just the beginning of the story. Sometimes people's testimony is that's kind of like they lived a lot of life and then they came to Jesus later. For me, it was young, but I believe God would just show up in various seasons throughout my high school life, and I remember at 13 him showing up at a piano recital and him just kind of showing me like, hey, this is what I want you to do. And at 13 I'm like, not baseball? Are you sure? Are you sure? But man, I'm so glad he did. I'm so glad he put this desire in my heart, and he's opened the doors and blown my mind, and it's been really cool. But yeah, I grew up in church and really thankful for my parents' influence in my life, and my sister as well. Love my family, and they're still in Murfreesboro, and we have a good time. But yeah, church kid.
You mentioned piano recitals. I assume you started taking lessons as a child or young?
I did, yeah. Started taking piano at like 8 years old. And then that led me to that recital at 13, which is where I sang and played for the first time, which was a crazy story. And my piano teacher basically told me, like, as I showed up to do the recital, like, hey, you need to sing the song as well. And I'm like,
she knew.
They knew. Not a great idea for a kid going through puberty, but hey, we're gonna give it a go anyway.
We'll just give it a shot.
We did. So I played and sang "I Can Only Imagine" by Mercy Me, one
Nice.
of my favorites still. And
Nice.
and God met me there, man. And like I said earlier, kind of showed me that this was going to be a part of my future, and He has continued to open the right doors, and here we are.
Well, I was listening to your sound check earlier, and in getting your piano in your ears right, I knew we had a little issue there. You got that all fixed and everything, and you started playing some really, really nice stuff. I'm thinking, this is not just your average piano player. I think this guy can play.
That's very kind.
I can tell. There's something that he studied somewhere for this.
I've got a couple tricks, and I use them often.
You did it well. Let me tell you that.
I appreciate it.
But you're on the road a lot now.
Yeah, we are. You know, like you said, it's been a crazy year, a great year. So thankful that God uses songs and music to reach people. I know He has with me. Growing up listening to Christian radio, I had certain songs meet me in certain seasons, and I'm just really grateful that Build a Boat has been one of those songs for people. And so my wife and I talked. We have twins who will be 3 in August. So my wife and I are
You've got a double handful, brother.
we do, but you know what? We love it.
Oh,
man.
yeah.
It is a double blessing.
I've got 4.
Yeah,
I love
so
them.
you know.
Yeah.
But we try to be even more intentional about the shows that I'll do and the ones that I don't do. And I realized every time I say yes, I'm saying no to something else.
Well,
and that's that could be kind of harsh, but it's a harsh reality.
Well,
and
you got to prioritize too.
Yeah.
In this kind of business, you're all over the place. So
Yeah.
kind of go.
God, family, ministry.
Yep.
That's the way I try and orchestrate and organize my priorities, and fall short of that sometimes. But we are trying to be intentional with that. So
those 3 things are important, and you got them in the right order. But you got to throw scheduling in there, because you're on a bus, you're on the plane, you're on the this and that. But I was listening to Jason earlier. It's like, I got to be in here tomorrow and then there tomorrow, and it's like, oh boy.
Yeah, there's a lot to juggle. I believe that God gives us grace to do it, and
patience.
Yeah, it's so cool. Even just, I guess it was yesterday, and sitting in church, they were talking about Jesus bearing the cross because of the joy that was set before Him. So it's like He endured for a little while because He knew what was coming. And for me, it's like, man, like, even though sometimes we have plane rides, or like I drove this morning, 4 hours from my bed in Nashville, Tennessee. We drove
SUV.
up in an SUV, and our team met us here, and we're like, hey, let's save some money where we can.
Yeah, sure.
I don't know if I still feel that way now, thinking I have to drive home after the show, but it's like, you know what, like, it's okay. Like, I know that God's going to do something powerful here tonight, and I just want to be a part of it. Like, I want to be a part of what God's doing here in Alexander City, Alabama. So, really excited for that. So we endure all the headaches and all the scheduling and all the whatever because of the joy that's waiting.
And truthfully, you're probably doing what you really want to do.
Man,
you probably love it.
I absolutely love it.
See, it's worth it all.
Yeah, some days it feels like a job, you know, and it is. It's my career. It's my job. I get to tell people about Jesus when I'm at my job, which is so cool. But I do love it. Don't love the planes.
and away from the planes for
100%. Yeah, all the travel, and there are cool parts about travel, and then there's the non-glamorous stuff about travel that can be not awesome. But hey, I'm really thankful that I get to do it.
You got to have a strong spouse, and you got that. She's
That's
there
right.
for you.
That's right.
Awesome. What about the future for Colton? Where are we headed? What about next gig? Where we headed from here?
Yeah, we are headed to Missouri, I think, this weekend.
Okay.
We got a couple more shows this weekend, but this fall we're going out with Jordan Felice. We're doing a co-headline with Jordan Felice. I love Jordan.
He's
love
heavy
his
on our
team.
station too.
Just a great dude. Actually, my family and his family all got together a couple weeks ago at his house and just kicked it. And he cooked us breakfast sandwiches that were out of this world. He's a big cook on the road too, I hear. So that'll be nice.
Yeah. And as far as projects, you got some stuff in the works for the future?
We just dropped an EP a little over a month ago called Canvas. Build a Boat, My Light is on there. Man, Canvas is it's just become my anthem, and that is that I want to be a blank canvas. I want God to tell His story through me in any way that He sees fit.
Yeah.
And what I love about God is that first of all, we don't have to have it all together before we come to Him. He takes our mess and He turns it into something beautiful.
He can. He does.
And,
He does it really well too.
He does it really well.
Isn't that
And
amazing?
every single time I'm blown away by how He takes a situation and turns it around for my good. And that's what that song's all about. If you haven't heard it, check it out.
Love to.
It's one of my favorite songs I've ever written.
I'll talk to our music director. I'm sure we got that
Yeah.
one added into Crazy
Good deal.
87 really soon.
Awesome. Good deal. That's amazing.
Well, look, it's great to have you back in town. We're excited to hear you tonight. We're looking forward to it. I agree with you and believe that God's going to do something tonight.
Agreed.
We've had many prayer sessions for this event.
Come on.
A lot about weather, but,
Yeah.
but what God is going to do tonight is what is the main focus, really.
That's right.
You know, we want to hear you sing, man.
Yeah.
We want to hear you do your thing. And so we just believe that tonight's different. I mean, this is the 19th annual
Man, it's so
Celebrate
cool.
Freedom, and we're already planning for 20, but we think tonight is just going to be really special. We're looking forward for the Lord to move tonight.
That's right.
Thank
We
you so
are
much
too. Thanks for having
for
us
spending
again.
some time with
Yeah,
us.
of
Hey, we'll
course.
be right back right after this.